In Theta, the spur controls everything. The conversation is dominated by the spurg. Over the next 2 hours or however long they stay sober, you will lose intelligence. Enjoy Theta Thursday. Your hosts, Dawn and Rhea, Mifune, and some shitty guests.
And hello there, everybody. Welcome. It's been a fat minute.
Hey, what's happening?
Welcome back to Theta Thursdays this week.
Oh wait, we still have a show?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back on. We're fucking back better than ever.
Yeah,
We still have a
totally.
show? That's crazy. All right.
I know.
So we actually have some real freaking Eve news to talk about this week.
Well,
Don't we?
hold on. There was
ready.
something. No, hold on. There was something big last week, I think, right?
All right, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back, Ragnar. We're live, bud.
Didn't we have something pretty big last week, Mifune?
What did we have
I remember
last
you
week?
being extremely inebriated for most of it, so you may not
Oh,
remember
yes.
much.
Mifune's 21 now.
It is my 21st.
Yep.
And you
Mifune's
survived
birthday.
your 21st birthday without succumbing to alcohol poisoning. I'm
Yeah,
very proud of you, young man.
Woke up.
If that was your head, I'd be patting you on the head.
I woke up the next morning after. So in ASCII, we watched a movie. We watched my favorite movie of all time, Inglourious Bastards, and we watched it with the corp. And one of my corp mates has never seen that movie. Never seen that movie, which I was like totally shocked at. Like, who hasn't seen Inglourious Bastards? So he watched it, and by the end of it, he was like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, you got it. Like, it's such a good movie. It's my favorite thing of all time. It's my favorite Tarantino movie of all time. It beats Reservoir Dogs. It beats Pulp Fiction in my head.
No, it doesn't beat Pulp Fiction, man.
Look,
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction.
It's a good movie, but it doesn't beat Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is just so well put together.
Dude,
The
the villain though is
cinematography,
so much better.
The villain, Hans Landa and the actor that played him, Christoph Waltz, is literally one of my favorite actors. Is absolutely amazing. But anyway, afterwards,
Did you know that he was actually a German fella?
Yes, I did. So one of the funny things was that afterwards there were a couple strat ops, and I didn't make it to those. But I was waiting around, waiting for the drunk room, and then we couldn't find anything good. So we just went on a filament room. And what? So
I was there.
After that, things were like, I was gone. I was completely gone. All I remember,
Do you remember anything?
all I remember is us filming out. We ended up in like a dead ass region. I can't remember what I can't remember where we landed. We decided to say fuck it. Let's do a Guardians Gala site. We went to the Guardians Gala site, and there's a hostile Ishtar doing it, and we were like, fuck. So we killed the Ishtar, and then it was at that point where I was like, all right, it's time for me to dock up, get off EVE Online before I completely forget tonight. And at that point, I turned off my computer and I went to bed.
That's not necessarily how that happened. You went to the bathroom first. You said, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And then you were like 10 minutes. But then you came back and then you said,
I went to bed. So the next day was my actual 21st. Went out with my family. We went to the bar I work at. We drank there. Went to a couple of different bars. And then I got into a semi-pseudo argument with my boss about how our bar doesn't have Chive TV, and we should really fucking get Chive TV. Because let me tell you,
Oh my god!
I
I don't need to hear a story about Chive TV.
No, anybody that lives in America knows Chive TV. And
What?
for all my European friends that don't know,
I don't know what it is.
I have no idea what it is either, Mifune.
All right. So it's basically like
No, I don't need to know.
No.
Yeah, I don't need to know. I'm just saying I don't know it. So
No.
your point's invalid.
It's stupid. It's stupid, but that's
Yes, it is.
No, that's exactly the thing. Like, who the fuck doesn't want to get drunk and watching something stupid like Chive TV? But long story short, it's like Vine. It's like Vine and America's Funniest Home Videos in one. It's so fucking funny. It's just clips of people doing stupid shit.
Your
So it's
baby
just-
Yoda's picking up the green screen, Mifune. It's fucking great. All right, so
Anyway,
prior to this week, prior to the announcements by CCP this week, I had a pantomime ready, right? And it was going to start like this. But I'm going to start at this. I'm going to do this pantomime. It'll only take a second.
That's funny.
Is it true? Could they possibly be heading in the right direction?
Have done something that people are okay with? No, unfortunately not. There's still people out there who just want to bitch for bitching's sake instead of just like accepting what happened.
Well, they haven't fixed the ESS, so I'm gonna bitch.
Yeah, you can bitch about that, but just like keep it focused on the right areas. It's when people bitch about the change because of, whatever not. I don't know. But for those of you that have been under a rock or not been available for the past week, we had a pre-dev blog announced, a dev blog outline made of what was going to be potentially coming up sometime.
I have the screen for this, so
and I didn't read it because it just said road to FanFest, so I thought it was just about FanFest, so I didn't even look at it.
So that's a big ramp up to their FanFest, and we should push that a little bit too. Yeah, that is in 2022, obviously, right?
So the thing
where is it? Where's it going to be?
So it's going to be in Reykjavik, Iceland. For those who don't know about FanFest, and for anyone who's new to Eve, it's a giant Eve. It's the Eve version of Comic-Con. But in Reykjavik, Iceland, you get to party with all the CCP.
Reykjavik, not Reykjavik.
It's Reykjavik.
It's Reykjavik.
Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna argue about pronunciations because we all know Eve and pronunciations don't go well together. It's Hecate, mind you. But so this is supposed to be like a preamble almost to what we can expect from like the keynote and stuff. Because I believe it was the stream this week between with CCP. Swift, CCP Burger, and CCP Fozzie, or not Fozzie, what's his name? Ritati. They did a CCP stream this week, and they talked about how there will be a keynote at the FanFest this year. There will be all that good stuff that we all missed. Thank God. So like I've been pushing for a year that they need to be doing freaking keynotes, but
So this dev blog, right? This roadmap, I've got written down here as notes. Fairly good, at least better than we expected.
It's better than we've gotten.
Yeah, is that fair to say? Is that safe to assume?
I would say
there were some things
from player expectations to what we have come to expect as the norm. It is better. It is back to the classic 2017, 2018 CCP where they actually sit there and say, here's what we're looking forward to changing.
Now, Ragnar, first impressions of what's here, not the other stuff that has not been addressed yet.
Well, basically, I think I did get it wrong when I first saw it. Does this mean the Rorqual is losing its natural compression ability in Siege?
We'll get to that because
we'll go into that in more detail, but short answer, probably. Because there's all these different types
overall,
of models,
I don't have a problem with most of the stuff that they put in there. I feel like they should keep the Rorqual. Well, yeah, but I don't have a problem with this. It's a neutral update.
So
there's actually some interesting bonuses in there for the battleship coming up too.
We'll get to that. Can we get to the first 3 seconds?
Sure, fine.
All right. So the first thing that's changing is new player experience.
Don't care.
Didn't they have a whole
they've been working what did on they that call for 4 years. It's never going to be better.
No,
they had a whole segment specifically dedicated to new player experience, and then forgot about new players when designing other shit.
So can I actually fucking say a word before Ragnar and Dawn interrupt about
No.
Anyway, so apparently and a lot of this dev blog was addressed in the Carneris interview with all the CCPers on CCP TV. I highly actually recommend watching it because there is some good spillage in there of some dank leaks of what they're actually doing to expand on this. But I believe with what CCP Swift said on the stream this past week and this, I think this doesn't have to actually do with the tutorial of the game. I don't think they're looking to change the whole air thing again that they've changed a million times. I think this is pointing more towards the career agents and redoing that whole next step shit, right?
I could see that.
Where
They usually do, where they
where
kind of like
instead of-
guide you.
Yeah, where instead of the career agents, we're gonna have this instance mining adventure, and I think this is the first step to revamping the beginning career agents. And I think that, like, 110%, that's honestly listening to the feedback that we've fucking given them, and it's what they're doing. I think it's great. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be interesting.
If they keep the instance parts to newbie starting systems, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Veldspar or something, anyways, or fake.
Well, no, I'm not
They'll
talking
usually
about.
do fake ore.
I'm not talking about the access to resources. I'm talking about access to the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Orbital War Zones, they are redoing Pocos in HiSec and HiSec Warfare over Pocos. And that's gonna be really fun when the shield EHP is literally cut in fucking half. And they're I think they're revamping HiSec war deck mechanics along with it. That's my theory. That's my hands down.
As long as it's not so oppressive that groups can't still have fun if they don't want to engage in
10 million
the
down to
warfare.
500k. Sorry, it's not exactly half. It's way less than that. It's like
It's okay, Sunray. He's just not good at math.
I'm not. Good
He's
at
not
math
in
at all.
Sundering, he's in ASCII.
I said Sonrir. I'm talking to the guy
Oh.
chatting on. You.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, shut up, bitch.
Now,
He
kids,
started it.
come on.
so then the reflection changes, which I think is a huge leap. One, graphically, I think it's a very, very small, minute detail that does bring out and flesh out things a lot better. And all I have to say is to
Our
people,
team.
like me and Galaxier and look to your left, to those of us who record EVE Online content, yeah, my CPU is gonna fucking melt trying to record a big ass battle in 4K with all these fucking ship reflections now on the polygons.
It'll be
so
fine.
RIP
Oh, I
my
wish-
CPU.
I
Are you
wish-
able to play the comparison video?
Yeah.
Will it work?
I wish, along
So,
with
for those who
what?
don't-
Bitch, I'm trying to make a point. You were quiet. Anyways, I just wish with the change that they're making to the graphics, they would also fix the sound so I can actually play the game in full graphics during a fight.
So
Oh, so they're gonna have like the light flashes and stuff show up on the ship.
yeah, so
That'll be cool.
it's my my thing that this is like a POS explosion or something, and then this is
Warship or
the left is to the current state of the game, and the right, or the left is to what they're changing, and the right is the current state of the game. So I
Yeah,
think
that'll be
it's going to
cool.
be interesting to see that kind of reflections in the game. But goddamn, Eve already kills my CPU, man.
well, that is pretty. I will probably pay attention to that because when rocks explode, when you mine them, they have little explosions. So maybe they'll do a little visual. And now you're moving, Greg. So
Yeah.
okay. The Guardians Gala thing, we all know that's happening.
We
None
all
of us
know
care.
that's okay. Here goes the actual compression fucking chunk.
And this was like pretty extensive on the follow-up messages.
Yes.
So-
So I'm trying to find the highlights because
The return of the jet can.
Hell yeah. Does anyone else? I wasn't there for it, but I hear fond memories of roke mining and apocalypse mining with jet cans. Are you guys ready?
Well, now I can drop my second Oracle I have that sits on top of them. And, excuse me, add an extra barge on, and then I can just tractor. So I don't have to worry about fucking shipping shit. And the boost should be in range of it, too. So, you know,
Yep.
they can compress all the way out there.
It's the same range as your regular boost. So.
Yeah.
So basically, compression becomes more socially available. Things like the Rorqual, the Orca, the Porpoise are going to get new high slot modules, which enable all the people in your fleet to be able to compress right. And yes, this is the right click and compress directly from your barge rather than having to dump it in the Rorik's fleet hangar.
Oh, Hero Locust FC Avid Sensi linked a link there, and I
Avid, do you want
relinked
to come on?
Yeah, you should come on, man.
Avid, you should come on. Get in the INN
So-
Discord.
So
and join
this
us.
is apparently how it's looking on CC, and I know some people have tried that out today. I tried to nab somebody, one of the mining people, like one of the numbers people, like Kasnir and a few other people. That
Casner doesn't mine. Lies.
Yeah,
You
but he
have
does
the
math. He does
you have
math.
you have the premium mining expert on the show already.
Okay.
Wait, who
Thank
does
you.
math?
Anyway, Kasnir. But this is apparently what it's looking like on CC right now. I think it's to me it's just such a nice mechanic. Please, why couldn't we have had this for fucking 4 years already? So that's always fun. But otherwise, gas and moon ore will become compressible. We've known this. The porpoise will be able to compress gas and asteroids. But the orca and the rorqual will be able to compress everything. So the porpoise won't be able to compress ice, which is interesting.
Now, actually, interesting story. Ice is considered ore, I believe.
Wait,
But
what?
Ice has always been considered ore. But the interesting thing is that gas has loss of some kind when uncompressing. So if you choose to compress your gas, it has a loss on the way back out.
Well, if you're compressing gas, when you just like turn it
become
into
a
a liquid,
Yeah.
how does that lose? I guess some sticks to the container. I don't know.
Listen,
Well,
people spill things when they're drunk, dealing with like the containers on the ship. All right, things happen.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll get into that. We have the extensive notes from today. Battleship Changes. This is kind of a big one. One that we've all been waiting for.
Huge.
This is huge.
Huge.
So basically, they are planning to bump up the effectiveness of armor plates by 50%.
Hell yeah!
Yay! Yay to the ball tech that'll have over 250,000
No.
EHP.
My armor nightmare is gonna be so dope now.
With what doctrine done? With what nightmare doctrine?
My-
Sorry,
oh.
the Imperium doesn't do that. We don't do
You're-
that.
What?
Mifune, you're also apparently really
Mifune.
quiet, so check your volumes.
We do have
He
a
sounds fine to me.
All right, but with here in the Imperium, we don't do Nightmare Fleet. Sorry,
Sure we do.
brought it to Sothrasil like 50 fucking times, and I keep getting told no.
Well, somebody got told yes. Just fucking wait and see, buddy.
No, I'm
No,
saying
it's
I
because
have an
it's hard
armor
to
nightmare
import
for mission
nightmares.
running.
Yeah.
It was
And
my
once-
first battleship.
So they're also buffing shield extenders by 100%, and they didn't have this in this, but they had it in the CCP stream. That they are also giving base resistances for everything all around. It's just going up. So
Oh, micro jump drives are getting changed, and this applies to Marauders
yeah,
as well.
That
Micro-
boosts MJDs, right?
So micro jump drives will the fitting will be reduced substantially, and then I believe
Oh,
it's
because I need
also
that.
I also believe that the Marauders will get some kind of bonus to where like it'll reduce the cooldown.
That already
on the roll
does.
bonus. Oh, does it? I'm fucking
Yeah, that's the
Alright.
bonus of having a Marauder is it can
Right.
MJD around
Right.
every like
So,
30 seconds.
Then the crab beacon. So the LP cost for the crab beacons, BBC is going to be reduced, which will overall make the beacon itself less costly,
things.
and you get more profit out of your crab beacons.
Fuck
so
those
fun.
things.
Another big one. The reversal of surgical strike. Don, how many times on this fucking show
Oh
have I said
my
they need to reverse surgical strike? How many fucking times have I said it?
You didn't say it, but we've
I
all
said it a
alluded to
million
it.
times.
I've never heard you say it, Mifune. Your
We said it
soul's
on
pumping
Trash
oil,
Talk
bud.
Tuesday, not Theta Thursday.
I
But
said how many times?
it is. I have talked about it that it was too much. They went too hard in the paint. But it sounds like they're only trying to tweak it for the wormhole and low sec people, which, you know what? Whatever gets me what I want, I don't care who you want to use as your excuse. So, like, surgical strike was way too hard. Titans should not be under 50 million EHP for how much they fucking cost and what it
Especially
takes to kill
now.
them. Yeah, especially now that they're like 3 times the price.
Like, if you're going to increase material cost, at least, like, put the HP back at or above what it used to be.
I would have been happy at 75% of what they were. They used to be 100 million, 75 million, even 50 to 75. Somewhere in there, perfectly fine, reasonable, could have dealt with it. But they brought some of them down under 50, which is ridiculous. Considering a super was not that much different, and it's like a tenth of the price.
So what does this do to the dropping bombers on big stuff mechanic? What's
So-
going to happen?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. What this means is that hopefully people will actually untether their capitals and hunting can become more viable. As far as like, oh my god, 90 bombers could kill a super in under X amount of seconds.
2 minutes, yeah.
That is, we're gonna see a nice medium between the Olmeca Gold age of a super dying every fucking night to, okay, super will die here and there. People are still gonna undock and fucking use them, thankfully.
For what?
I'm just saying the
the
super is
problem.
an example. I'm just...
Sure, okay. But what I'm thinking is that the surgical strike is going to be strictly for dread, like changes at all, is going to be strictly for dreads and faxes. Supers and titans are not going to be touched at all.
So we're probably going to be able to go back to doing
So
crab
the reason
beacons
why,
and have a...
yeah, that's what it's for, is so we can do crab beacons and put our
Yeah,
ships
they
in-
did
in-
say previous, right, that they were gonna push that content, and because it
Yeah.
did show initial success, but then people realized, hey, these are pretty fucking easy kills. Maybe we should get them.
Yeah, well, no, only in Dell. Sorry, nobody else.
I mean,
they don't
I
hunt
would-
anywhere else.
I would love to see, personally, I would love to see them kind of rework the crab beacons to be like a scalable difficulty, personally. Just like, okay, yeah, you have your crab beacon where the rogue drones
What
attack
up,
fighters
Steven?
and whatnot, so you should use dreads, and then you have a different crab beacon where the rogue drones act differently, so that, things like your supers will be better, and then even bigger crab beacons that are meant for titans to use. Like, I feel like there should be a scalable thing to where every capital can viably do a certain type of crab beacon. I feel like that would be interesting to see. I think that would bring a nice, healthy, all-around greatness to them.
Well, I think crab beacons are dumb and stupid because it's only beneficial to like the places that don't get dropped by bombers every fucking day.
Yeah, but you don't do them though, Don.
I know that's because I think they're stupid and they should.
Well, you
not be
don't
in the
mine
game.
ice either. You think mining ice is stupid.
Yeah, because it makes no money. Too many people
So-
are mining ice. There's
So,
no
like,
value in
anything
it.
that you don't do in this game is fill in the blank.
Stupid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Rorquals are going to be able to do a conduit jump with subcaps. That'll be nice to bridge.
Hold on. Swarthy wants to argue a little bit here. Swarthy, this is us guessing, okay? We're not saying that it says XYZ. We're saying that they talk about how the gameplay for low sec and wormhole people were affected by surgical strike way more than potentially others because faxes got nerfed into the ground. So it would stand to reason that the reason why they're thinking of reversing some changes or going back a little bit is going to be mostly for just regular caps and dreads because they want to keep the low sec and the wormhole gameplay style healthy and active. That does not include supers and titans. So the chances of them changing those ships is pretty damn low. I'm sorry it took a couple steps to infer where we're going, but that's what we're talking about. And they didn't say it, but I can read between the lines.
Anyway, so the Rorqual's going to get a conduit jump, which is cool. Blueprint
Yeah, that's not
changes.
coming till later. Like there's kind of there's like a timeline of when they're gonna roll this out, right?
Well,
Yes, Jaime.
well, most of these changes they said are supposed to be before FanFest, which is within the next 9 weeks. So within the next 2.5 months, most of these changes are going to be here. So
Come on, conduit jump.
this one is nice. The blueprint changes. Now this is why I'm going to tell you to go watch the CCP stream with Rattati, because they literally came out and said, yes, we know it's impossible to build Dread Super Titan. Yes, that was 100% intentional to stop the flow of industry while they make these changes. They used it as a safety net to not fucking wreck the economy outright.
So they performed fraud.
Yes.
Okay, as long as we're clear that they performed fraud because you actually could not actually make this item, but they made you think that you could. They provided a fake goal.
They purposefully bottlenecked everything on purpose while they made changes, and then on this dev blog, it says right here, to that extent, blueprint requirements, the bottlenecks, will be reduced and updated before FanFest. So that means that shit is gonna hit before fucking FanFest.
When's FanFest?
March, I think.
No, it's in May usually. April or May.
April or May. So like I said, it's in 9 weeks from now. So somewhere within the next 9 weeks, we're gonna see that shit get better.
Okay, keep going, because we're apparently just blazing through, so we can get to so we can dive into the specific topic.
I know.
We have to talk about we have to talk about Eve Montreal too soon.
Anyway,
yeah, that'll be at the end.
Anyway, so basically, Citadels are OP. They're going to fix that.
What?
So yeah,
I stopped reading after the work will change.
They think Citadels are OP, and that Citadel the thing is that they haven't changed many Citadel mechanics since they were introduced in 2016. So to that extent, they're going to be changing them so that things like a keep starfight, i.e. things like M2, could be more fun and interesting for both defenders and attackers, right? So they're going to...
When has CCP ever been successful at making defender and attacker mechanics fun? It's one or the other. It's never both.
Can we get through this so we can get to the real good math shit? Thanks.
It's called commenting, okay?
Well, we're doing that. So then they talk about FanFest. Here we go. The 6th and 7th of May is when FanFest is. So in between now and FanFest, we're gonna get all those changes.
Is anyone going to FanFest that we know? Is anyone in chat going to this
anyone in chat
FanFest? Ash Sharathi, how's it going, man? Eve is fun.
Berlin all the way. Yes, there is Eve Berlin's coming up in the summer, I believe. Eve London will be right before that. Where Eve Vegas is getting announced this weekend. And then we have
Brisk.
Lots of other stuff.
Literally 3 minutes.
Okay, just say, is CSM happy with the...
Here's the question that I had prepared for Brisk.
Okay, fine.
Did we, as the CSM, did you make enough noise to inspire the direction of this roadmap, Brisk?
It sure as hell seems like it. I mean, I'll be honest, like, the tenor of the way that CCP responded to a lot of our suggestions over the last couple of weeks has definitely changed. I think they are sick and tired of us stomping on them constantly. And that's a good thing. And I think as long as they are tired of us stomping on them constantly, then maybe they're going to start doing things that the players ask for that are good, that we like. And that seems to be what they're doing. So maybe sometimes you can continue the beatings until morale improves. Maybe that's not just a joke.
Speaking of stomping, they need to fix the ESS. Is there any news on if they're going to change it to the other bank, or is this working as intended, as they would say?
I mean, this is what they wanted to do. I don't like it. We have asked for them to change it. We are pushing them to change it. We're supposed to have a meeting about this stuff soon, among other things, and hopefully we will get them to get them to focus on that, because honestly, it doesn't make a lot of sense to say, well, we're giving you guys more risk, but no, we're going to gate it behind a mechanic that no one's using because it's not working.
Now, question real quick. Have they fixed the BRMs are frozen?
My understanding is that issue has been resolved, yes.
Compared to this point last week, how do you feel about the future of this game, Brisk?
I mean, I knew this stuff was coming for a while. If you guys have noticed, the tenor of my complaining on the Meta Show and elsewhere kind of changed about a month ago, and that's when we started seeing the stuff for compression, the stuff for structures, the stuff for some balance changes and things like that. And I said to myself, look, I guess us yelling at them for like a year solid, giving them a lot of bad press, finally got them to realize, hey, you know what? Maybe we should do what the players want. And that's what they started doing. And this changes we started seeing them suggesting were straight out of the stuff that we had been telling them to do for 6-7 months, for more than that in some cases. They were looking at the FC document that Haiwanto put out that I know a lot of the FCs had worked on for a long time. They were looking at balance changes, like stuff that Stitch had talked about, stuff that I had on my list, stuff that had been brought up multiple times. And finally, all of a sudden, like, wow, they're actually talking about it. So that made me feel like they knew what was going on. And they figured out that they didn't want to get shit on anymore. So, hey, we'll do what the players want. And all of a sudden, they have a whole week of relatively good press until this BRM bullshit. So,
Well, thank you, Brisk. We
Anyway.
appreciate it.
I will be over on Rampage. You guys have a great show. I will talk to you all soon, and come watch the Meta Show on Saturday.
Well, we'll come over and watch Rampage Inc. after we're done here, sir.
There you go.
Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
Bye, everybody.
Ladies and
Nice.
gentlemen, that was Brisk Rubal, who's the CSM. And he's what does he do for Init? Line member of Init.
Yeah.
So this is the nitty-gritty map. And please, before we get side comments and sidetracked, I'd like to go over the document.
We don't have to go it over in super duper deep. We're never
Wait,
going to
what
super
what
duper
document
detail.
is this?
This
Are you going to
is
do
the-
math for us, Mifune?
That's going to
They
take,
have
that thing is
charts.
so, it
They
is
have
so long.
charts. They have
We're not going through the whole
charts.
thing. We're not going, no,
Alright.
just get to like
Fine.
the port stuff.
Fine.
Perfect. That is actually what I wanted to talk about.
So basically, so the new compression, as far as this outlines, is that the Rorqual, the Orca, and the Porpoise are getting new high slot support modules, skills that Rorqual pilots, you can start training them now. Get it done before patch day. It allows them to give nearby fleet mates to compress the minerals directly from their own cargo bays. With the right modules and skills, it could go over 200 kilometers, which is plenty for moon mining. It's plenty for ice belts. It's plenty for whatever other shit you're mining these days. Moon ore and gas is going to be compressible. We already know this, along with ore and ice. It'll be easier to compress on site rather than having to dock up in a station and whatnot. So the compression modules, they have to have an active industrial core. So your Rorqual must be sieged for it to work. The Porpoise is getting its own siege module now compared to the Orca medium and the Rorqual large one. The capacity of jet cans is going to be doubled. Hooray for jet can mining. I personally, I get where they're coming from, but for me, the jet can mining did not make too much sense. Because if you're just going to compress right inside of your Hulk, what's the need to put all of your shit in the jet can and bring a hauler over if it's... Like, the whole point of the hauler jet can mining thing was so that you didn't have to dock up to compress your shit.
Yeah, what if you got like a procurer or something, or a fleet of procurers, right? Or something that's smaller than a Hulk.
I guess, yeah. But at first glance, I was kind of like, okay, cool. So it's going to simplify the quantity ratios between uncompressed and compressed, which means, guess what? You don't need 100 moon goo anymore to fucking compress it into one compressed unit. It just goes 1 to 1. Hey, that's great. It's like ice now. Both will have the same refining requirements and stuff like that. But the compressed version will obviously occupy a reduced volume in your cargo bay. Compression is always lossless. Thank you for actually listening. So for asteroid, moon, and ice, there's no additional loss going from compression to refining. Now gas compression, you can still compress one gas to one compressed ore, but as it stands, I believe when you go from compressed to refined minerals, there's an extra bit of loss there, just like you would, you lose a little bit of your refining shit anyway, unless you have the bean encounter, in which case you get as close as you can get to perfect refining. Compressed gas, I think, is going to have a little bit more of a tacked on loss to the raw material you get out of it.
All right, let's keep going down.
Yeah.
Because I want to actually talk about these and not just read the insane
Yeah.
devlog that they make.
So then here goes all the stuff.
So stop there. Just stay there. No, go back up. Back up. I don't care about that. Go back up. I want to see the actual module types. There you go. Okay. So as you can see, There's going to be basically the Rorqual and the Orca are going to be able to do the same stuff. They are going to be able to do ore, ice, gas, mercoxit, and moon goo. The porpoise is strictly just gas and ore. I found when I read that they were adding a siege to a porpoise, I went, huh? The purpose of a porpoise is to be speedy and fast. So if you were stuck in space, which I don't think it's for 5 minutes, I think it's only for like 90 seconds or something for this one.
Don, did you just say the purpose of the porpoise instead of saying the porpoise of the porpoise?
Yeah. So it seems like it's counterintuitive to add this type of module to the porpoise, but I guess they were trying to add some options for wormhole people. Ragnar, would you ever use a siege module on a porpoise?
In high sec?
In a high sec?
Maybe low sec, but not null sec. Like, the whole point of the siege module for the Rorqual is that, yeah, you're stuck there, but it boosts, like, your ability to fight back. Whereas a single porpoise with the same thing, even if it does increase your combat ability, isn't going to do shit on its own. Even if you have a fleet of, like, okay, maybe if you had a fleet of skiffs, but that's, like, I only know one person who does that, and he's an asshole.
It's not very nice, Ragnar.
So that's why I just found it a little odd. And then you can't use it for moon goo. So if you're in high sec, Orca is like your go-to. Shocker. Some people were asking, is this going to fit? Will these modules fit in the high slots? Clearly, you need to have one for whatever you're mining, which usually isn't a huge problem because you're only mining one type of thing at a time, except for if you're doing mercoxit mining on top of ore. But, you know, who mines regular belts these days?
Well, you've got a couple of throwaways, right? Not throwaways, but, like, for example, in my Rorqual, I use
2 open high slots.
Yeah, so I use 3, right?
It depends, but
it depends on your Rorqual setup. There are actually up to 4 open high slots, so you can put whatever you feel like in there.
Because I can just take a newt off, and hopefully this thing will fit.
Oh, but the thing is, you can also just carry a depot. Just, you know.
Well, it depends on how big these modules are, Ragnar, because these are 4K modules. It's a lot of space. I know my ship is filled to the brim of cat boosters, so...
You only need 200.
I don't even have that many, and I'm still full. Like,
really? I have 200, and I have plenty of room.
I think I'm at 150.
Do you have a big module, Ragnar?
This is the chart that they gave us. So
I'm glad I can read arrows going from left to right. Keep going, sorry.
So yeah, it just explains that ore goes to compressed. You just get the basic refining loss. Same thing with ice. Same thing with moon ore. And then with gas, you'll get loss from refining and the decompression loss.
Well, you don't refine gas. It's just the decompression loss. They're treating the decompression loss as if you're refining it. So it's just leveling the playing field.
Yeah. So they just kind of go more into like the gas decompression shit. The new porpoise module, the medium industrial core.
It bothers me that they don't ever have a small on their scales. Anyways, continue.
The Orca gets a fuel bay increase. Fun.
Oh, that's so that they can have more water?
Yeah. Structures.
Why doesn't the Rorqual get bigger fuel bays, huh? Some of us could use more fuel space.
Structures will continue to be able to compress asteroid ore and ice, considering that they have the rig installed. They will not be able to compress gas or moon ore. So the only way to compress your moon goo is with the Rorqual in space.
Huh. That's really interesting.
So you can't dock up in your Athenor and compress in there. You won't be able to do that.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Along with this, they are taking the pos compression area out, furthering their goal to get rid of player-owned stations. Honestly, I don't understand why CCP, like, I get it, they can't remove it because passcode and whatnot. Just, like, do what you did with the Gecko. Take out the blueprint. Make it impossible to build one and after all the blueprints are used up. Like, why not just do that? And passes will eventually die out from supply.
Yeah, and they still haven't. So, you know, like, it's
Anyway,
it's okay.
Another
No one's
chart
gonna
with the
need to
new
use it.
skills and whatnot, and how the skills work out to the bonuses. Some math with all of that stuff. Oh yeah, the medium industrial core for the porpoise, like all the stats for that, and that's the end of that blog.
Perfect. So that's like the biggest change. Like, there's a ton of changes coming up that are exciting. I don't think a single one of them made me go, ew, which is weird. I don't know how to feel.
Well, happy maybe?
I guess, because, like, we're getting our conduit. They finally said it. We're going to be getting industrial conduit jumping, which will work. They said just like the Black Ops, where a Rorqual will move a group of people to places. And that's what we wanted. And we're so excited because everything that all the changes they made have forced people into dozens of barges. And now they're providing an option to move them efficiently. Oh, hi, Avid, finally.
Joined us.
Say hi.
Hello.
Ah, there you are. Avid is
Hey,
my co-conspirator in the Locust Swarm. So, how are you feeling about all these announcements?
So I am super excited about all of this. Like, this is probably one of the best quality of life changes I think I've ever had in the Eve.
I mean, it could be better, but yes, I'm excited. I am happy that all ships can compress now if they're in range, because how many hours have I'm sure you sat there too, mining regular ore with your barge next to your Rorqual, moving it into the ship constantly for hours and hours and hours.
Oh
You don't
yeah,
have to do
all the time.
Don't
I
have
mean,
to do that anymore.
the coolest part about that is just like now Mackinac can hold 4 million M3 of ore.
4 million.
So 4 million M3 on a Mackinac. 2 Rorks can hold a full moon frac.
Wait, what?
So 2 Rorquals. So if you do the math,
Well, how much is the full moon frac? 27?
full moon frac is in between 50 to 60 million M3.
Okay, and if we crunch it down,
So if you crunch it down 100 to 1, 30 million.
it goes down. It goes from 10 M3 to 1 M3.
No, it's 100 to 1.
Yeah, they changed it.
So I was on the test server earlier today checking this out. So moon ore gets compressed 100 to 1. So
I thought
that
it was
means
1 to
a
1.
Rourke can hold 30 million M3.
Nice. So 2 Rorquals could hold, a whole moon. Oh
And
my
I mean,
God.
that doesn't even include, all the other space in Rourke. That's just the Orvade.
I'm so excited. Yeah, Astrology, I get the unit part. I'm talking about actual size. Because, like, compressed Veldspar is much smaller than...
There's a difference between
anything
volume and the number of things you have in said volume. Like,
Oh, 50... Oh, yeah, you could have a whole moon if you did just cargo expanded.
probably.
Easily.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's gonna be... I have so much moon goo just scattered around Delve. I'm so excited I can finally go get it.
Yeah,
This
so
is
now the
amazing.
only problem is getting it out of these small structures and into a Rourke. Like, you need
That's
like
okay.
a jump freighter or a freighter.
I got freighters.
My real question is,
plan.
can you compress in a miasmos?
It said industrial ships. Do you think those are included? Wait, did it say industrial or just all ships? What does it say? Mifune, bring it back up.
I'm looking.
Okay.
This is why we pay you.
Hi, Dominic.
Dev vlog.
I know.
Oh, we should welcome Dominarch to the stream too. Hey Dom, what's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Good. Dominic,
Pretty fucking good.
This is a new thing for us. We're not mad about something.
It feels
Angry,
good,
Dom.
doesn't it?
Angry.
It feels good though, right?
It said any ship can select a compressible material in their own hold and convert it to compressed variant. So you could have a freighter just sitting there.
Possible. It is.
That would be amazing.
Possible. But
God.
Well, no one's going to do that in
allowing
Nullsec.
I think the
with high
difference-
sec.
I've seen-
allowing nearby fleet mates to compress materials directly from their own cargo base. So it doesn't mention specific mining holds. It only mentions cargo base. So you might be right about that. Where if you wanted to, you could probably just park a fucking obelisk on grid and fucking put it on.
Could you
grid.
imagine group mining also be so easy? You just leave an obelisk in the center, and then you don't even have to make the boxes that like.
Just have
often.
an MTU by the obelisk, or the obelisk
And the
drops an
obelisk could
MTU.
The obelisk could just sit tethered on the Athenor and just pull it out without getting in danger ever.
No, the obelisk couldn't. You'd have to have something near it pulling it to it. But yes, you could do that. So you'd have to
I mean, you
have
could just
like
use
a
Rorqual, too.
Rorqual.
Hold on.
Yeah, just have a Rorqual sit on it and pull it. There you go.
Want to buy a freighter filled with 10 moons? That'd be fucking
So
damn.
serious question about the Rourke. If you are tractor beaming something, do you lose tether?
Yeah, because you're
Yes.
targeting something.
Yeah, but if you already have a Rorqual that's sitting, this is what I do. I have my Rorqual sit within tether of the Athenor, but it's sieged and boosting because the boosts still reach. I can just strap a capital thing on a tractor beam and pull it.
So it's already not tethered anyway.
Yeah, I'm already not
For
having
him.
it being tethered.
Other
For me.
people may do it a little differently, where maybe there is a Rorqual that's not sieged, bringing it in, and
Like,
then
if you
putting
really
it in
wanna
the
be
sieged
dumb.
Rorqual. You know,
just get like a subcap with a tractor beam and slowly truck it over. If you have nothing better to do.
could you get like a fast one?
No, because the tractor beam only goes so fast, and you can outrun it.
Can you outrun your box?
Yes,
Oh my god!
trust
Paying
me.
them to use it doesn't work quite like that, Sunrare. But
It would be cool,
yeah.
though.
So as I said, like there was nothing that they mentioned that was just like outright, oh my god, why would they do this? Everything in there was like, huh, yes. Now, some people have been bitching about these changes because they're like, it doesn't make any sense that my ship over here can compress. Bitch, it don't make sense why it couldn't.
Doesn't make
Alright.
sense that boosts
The
even
mechanics
work.
in this game don't make sense anyway.
Like, how are they projecting a boost across empty space? Like, what? That means they have to like project something in a perfect sphere around the ship into empty space for it to have
Boost
an effect.
make no
I watched the
sense.
boost explode. That's a perfect sphere. I watch it every
Yeah, but how? How did they do
Magic,
that? If
space
it
magic.
explodes exactly
Space
from
magic.
zero of the ship
Space
out.
magic.
Physics, man. Simple physics.
Yeah,
Like-
so
Right,
the
man.
game doesn't have to make sense.
No, it does
Can we
not.
It just
also-
has to
You
make
know what the game has
work
to do?
and be fun.
Can
The
we
game has to be
also,
fun. That's right,
can-
Don. The game has to be fun.
Can we
That's what matters.
also give a huge motherfucking shout out to CCP finally fixing the bug where if I warp my Rorqual to a goddamn icicle, it doesn't bounce me and the icicle at 10,000 fucking meters a second?
Oh, I
Holy
thought
shit.
you can't warp to a rock properly.
Yeah, are you like that terrible? Of a
Are you really
fucking
warping
pilot?
to zero?
Have
don't
you
warp to
never
zero.
met me? I am the worst pilot this game has ever fucking met. Jesus.
Mhm.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, yeah. I did see that they were making changes to the ice belt. There was a bunch of visual changes in the past few weeks that seems to be intentional. So I'm not going to argue with it. But there was some visual changes to the high-sec belts, and I believe in the middle of that they changed the visuals to the null-sec belts and the null-sec moonfrags. The rocks are now like a third of the size of what they used to look like. And it's amazing.
Dare I say, CCP's been working their ass off, haven't they?
I don't know what they're doing, but they're making me very happy.
Yeah, me too. Both the patch notes the other day and this huge positive moves.
Like, I can like go mine. Now, the sad part, the only thing that I want is for them to make regular belts something that people want to go mine, like, because that keeps people in space actively doing stuff, so there's people to hunt. Because right now the regular belts just aren't worth it to mine, and ice is getting there as well. Because there's no capitals out or less Rorquals using water and fuel and stuff, the ice prices are crashing, and ice mining is already at like half the value it used to be. I used to buy water at like 80, 100 ISK per unit, and it's down to 20 ISK per unit.
You should be.
We're
happy
sitting on
about
a
that.
lot of ice, Don.
I know.
Just gonna tell you that right now.
And that's the problem is there's so much ice being eaten, and which is good. Like, I'm glad people are out mining doing stuff, but the value is just crashing because the products aren't being used up at an equal rate. You know, we have bursts in there where capital fleets move here and there to help increase regular fuel, but without massive amounts of oracles out there, water crashes, ozone crashes. We don't need straw unless dreads do things, but wait, dreads aren't doing anything. And we also just got like a trillion worth. We also got like a trillion ISK worth of straw recently, so we're good.
Yeah, from AON.
The fuel is being consumed still. When it comes to making fuel blocks, that part of the ice is still pretty expensive, right? So you have where it's crashing in one part, but the other part is still pretty inflated right now.
Yeah, it's just there's just a lot of like
ice is a weird thing right now, you know, because half of it's inflated and half of it's deflated. Yeah,
there's people who are just like trashing some of the rocks that like only have strontium or whatever that they just don't need. There's some rocks that like the enriched rocks that just have a shit ton of water and some helium isotopes. You don't need helium as much as you do other ones. It's they are gonna have to look. They need to get these capital changes balanced out soon, or else ice is gonna be fucked up so bad. And then when they do change it, there's going to be people like Greg and other people who are going to make a mint because they have so much ice stored up. And it's just going to be all sorts of fucked up.
Don't fucking say anything, Don.
I know, right? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure no one mentioned this anywhere in the game. I didn't see it on Reddit anywhere, that the rocks' visual size were changed for moon belts.
Yeah, I know. We showed up to the Locust Fleet. Oh, this isn't a full frac, guys. Sorry, they fucked it up. And someone does a scam. What do you mean? It's like fucking 600K. It's like, oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, they said nothing about it. So those of you who haven't moon mined in a while, they said nothing about it anywhere. But they took, you know how you normally get those giant moon rocks that are like 10 to 15 kilometers across. They're now the same size as like a medium little rock. Teeny tiny.
Yeah. Which I guess is good. Less bounce. Well, I don't know. Is the mass the same?
No, less bouncing because they're not rotating. So rocks rotate for 24 hours.
They don't bump into each other and just randomly shoot off into fucking space. Yeah. That's probably good.
But it does look like we are reaching our time limit for tonight. So I guess it would be time to move on to final thoughts.
Yep, we can do that, and then I'm sure we will continue some of these discussions on Saturday on Push to Talk. So I encourage everybody to be there. Anyone here can be a guest on Push to Talk. They are never shy. So let's start at the top. Avid, what's your first or final thought of the week?
Final thought of the week is this is going to make just everything so much easier for any miner across the board, whether you're high sec, null sec, low sec. It's going to be so much. Your quality of life is just.
It's going to really help wormholes where every bit of mass counts.
Yeah. Dominark, thank you for joining us right at the end. What's your first and final thought of the week?
My only thought of the week is, hey, if you live near the Midwest, you should come to the Midwest Meetup. It's happening March 11th and 12th. And I will link to Dawn the website so she can link it in what do you call this thing? Twitch here for me. It's 11th and 12th of March. So soon the information will be here in the chat. So come to the meetup. It'll be fun. I think we've got 10 people RSVP'd so far. And I know 6 others who say they're going to be here, but I don't know if they're going to be. So we'll see. Let me get that to you, Don.
Okay. Let's do Ragnar. First and final, well, I guess final thought of the week. You've been here the whole time. Like a trooper. I appreciate it.
This specific set of changes, I do like. They need to fix the ESS. You know, at the very least, put the 50% for bottom bitch BRMs into the one that pays out every 2 hours instead of the one you have to pay pretty much exactly what you get out of it to access it. And then also Mad Cows needs ISK, and that is all. He does
not need ISK. He's got a Titan. Anyways, Greg, final thought of the week.
Yeah, I had a couple things. I think Mifune,
do
you have that
Canada?
graphic for the Eve Montreal meet.
I forgot to shove it into the thing during our pre-show, but I could.
Anyways, March 22nd of this year, 2022. I'll get back to that later. It's it's the Eve Montreal meet. It's at the Sugar Shack. Unlimited fucking bacon, boys and girls. Unlimited bacon. So it's 1 hour from Montreal on the North Shore. We'll get an image for you. If you go to Eve or Goon Meets in the Discord, you can see it there, I believe. Also, being 2022, and you see the shirt I'm wearing, it's the 50th anniversary of Canadian Warplane Heritage. And Canadian Warplane Heritage is it's a museum in my hometown of Hamilton here. Started in 1972. We have one of the only flying Lancasters on planet Earth. I think there's like two. There's one in Great Britain and there's one in Hamilton. We've got a lot of other really cool aircraft. We're a flying museum. And yeah, if you're ever in the area, in the Toronto area or the Niagara Falls area, take the detour to Hamilton and check out Canadian Warplane Heritage.
Check
Check out.
Yeah. Thank you for all that, Greg.
Awesome. You're welcome.
And then Mifune, any final thoughts for the week?
CCP, please don't stop the good momentum now. Keep the good shit coming. That's all.
I agree. So my final thought is, once again, it's very weird to not be mad at anything. There are some things that I feel like could be adjusted a little bit, but overall, thumbs up, happy sensations for what we've read so far. I hope that they don't run into issues when implementing these changes. Definitely check out Eve Midwest, Eve Montreal, Eve Berlin is in July.
Yeah, that's another one too.
FanFest is in May. Eve London should be in June. Eve Vegas is getting announced this weekend, which will be in October. And
Eve NOLA will have a date soon also.
And Eve NOLA, which is the New Orleans one. So definitely come see, because I will be at the Eve Vegas one, unless something comes up. And then I really hope we get to do the DC again, because that was a lot of fun. And I hope that more than just Goonie Goon show up to that one next time.
Oh, my cat decided to say hi. Yeah, there's Eve Toronto too.
No one cares about Toronto.
No,
I'll go to that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go to that one too. I'm going to go to that
one. You two can hang out. Dominic's cool to hang out with. He'll buy you drinks, Greg.
Oh, drink.
Oh, Dominic didn't buy me any drinks in Vegas. Hold on.
Because you snubbed me.
You weren't old enough.
Snubbed me. He snubbed me.
I
we
know.
went to the movie together. I said, hey, Mifune, fuck you, Dominic. I'm not talking to you. And that's what he did to me. It was ridiculous.
Dude, that entire day was a blur. I remember we walked into that theater and Carneros said hi to me, and Carneros was eating breakfast, and it took my brain like 10 minutes to process that was Carneros.
Yeah, you were high as a kite the entire time.
I was fucked. But next year will be fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for tonight, guys. We're just keeping it short. Come hang out with us on Saturday for Push to Talk.
And
I hopefully will not fall asleep during the show like I did last time. So.
Open comms Friday night if you want. We're always
Open
there.
comms Friday night. You guys talk about weird stuff for like an hour and a half that I just can't stay. That's the problem for me.
Well, we do. We talk about Eve for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's the problem. I want to talk about you for much longer, and then
you can talk about. Well, usually there's 3 or 4 conversations going on at once.
So. Yeah, that's the problem.
Actually, this weekend, be Blast of the Past. Some of you might know the name. Some of you might not. There used to be a podcast called Down the Pipe, which was a wormhole-based podcast hosted by Branya, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but Branya will be there Friday, and just to say hi. He hasn't been around for a long time, but he's one of the old podcasters from way back.
All right. Well, I think we're done. Thank you all for coming.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
And we are out.
Really appreciate it. We couldn't do this show without you guys, and I think we're going to go all visit Rampage Inc.
Is Brisk gonna?
I messaged him, but I haven't got anything back. He may be busy.
Brisk.
All right. Either way, everyone go watch Rampage. Have a good time.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great week. Thank you.
Bye.